Hello, folks. This is AP the Weird One, and we're here with a 101 subscriber special. I don't usually talk about anime on my channel, but I thought I would show you the list of stuff that I've been watching and talk about my anime list in general. So, we're on the all anime. We're going to go to currently watching. I'm going to give some thoughts about that, some of the titles that I've watched, and actually thought, what do I think of them? Things like that. So, we got this season plus a little bit extra. First off, we have at the top of the list Oshinoko Season 2. I've been enjoying so far, though I do wish we see more Ruby's arc, sort of, or sister Ruby. I saw the first season, really liked it. Although I did have the OVA, like the movie, the first episode spoiled, which is kind of basically a short movie. I did have that spoiled, and so it made it easier to kind of go into, although it did take me about a couple days to watch it on completion, just because it was very long. Not to say I didn't enjoy it. And then we have Code Geass Recapture Rose. I haven't watched today's episode, but apparently it was an anime movie or a short compilation of them. Now they're in anime form. This is a sequel to the Code Geass that has the movie, so where, spoiler alert, Lelouch survives. And then I'm rewatching Digimon Frontier very slowly. It's been... I need to pick it up because the arc is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But the beginning is kind of not my favorite, considering with Grumblemon steals some of the spirits. So I didn't really want to watch that. But apparently that doesn't happen for some time. And then I had finished not too long ago watching... Digimon Season 2, and I'm skipping Tamers for just because that's considered the GOAT, and I want to save that to the very end. Then we got Fairy Tail 100 Quest. I didn't watch the final arc, but I did read in the manga format. That was actually the series that got me to read manga, was Fairy Tail, because I was like, can't wait for the anime. I gotta continue going forward, and happy to see that, and happy to see my girl Lucy Heartfilia. And then this one, this is Love Indivisible by Twins. And this is an anime that started this year, and I see the title Love Polygon. I'm like, oh, this is going to be kind of interesting. So I'm watching it. I'm not sure what to make of it. Like the first episode, basically a recap of the older sister Rumi, like how she went forward, and then. My sister's already liked him, and he likes my sister, so I'm gonna back off. And then it's like the next few episodes, like the second episode, telling him to go find love with her, and then this one is he confesses his feelings to her. Curious to where the story's gonna go. I don't know. I'm up and down by this one. I don't know what to think of it, but yeah, that's Love is Indivisible. And then we have Makoto Punch, which is the YouTube anime series with the vampires. I might be dropping this one. I don't know. It's fine, but I don't love it. Then we have Goddess of the Cafe Terrace and its goddesses. Last episode wasn't my favorite, but it's fine. I remember just as soon as season 2 started, I watched the first episode. My favorite girl. I realized why my favorite girl liked my favorite Akane, and then Ami, who, yes, she's very hot. I'm like, I'm over with her. She was just a fling. Akane's the one I really want to win and like, and I don't care. The others are cute and everything, but I just don't care about them as much. That's a fine series. And then we have the remaster to Spice and Wolf, which is going to hopefully go through the entire series. I like it. A little bit slow a bit. And then we have Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. I remember the video game and I was considered buying it, but I just kind of lost interest. I'm enjoying this. I've been enjoying this. This is fine. I do like the series. So I'm going to continue watching this one. I think I'll watch it to the end. It's been fun. All right. Let's go on to series that I've dropped, and I'll explain where ones that I think are kind of significant. Agami Got Kill. This was back in the day. I read the manga to this. Apparently, there's a sequel I didn't know about, but this, I'm not one for gore, and this kind of caught my eye. But then I think it slowed down And then I decided, like, I'm just going to read the manga instead, and I just end up reading all the manga. And apparently the anime is just, it did not do the landing because the manga hadn't finished. And people simp for Esdeath like it's nobody's business. This character is super evil. I do not get people like her. Like, I mean, I have my fair share of evil women, but this girl is like bloodthirsty. Like, there is no redemption for her. Yeah. Esdeath, I do not understand the sim for her. Like, duh. And then this is, I think, a small nothing anime. Oh, Giant Beast of the Ark. It's kind of boring. Astronaut, a little bit boring. I didn't mind the romance. Season 3 of My Hero Academia, I think I just got slowed down and I missed a whole bunch, and I'm like, got done with it. And then, no, this is hold on. No, I do remember this one. I think briefly. And then Conception, that kind of got a bit boring. Death Note, I watched up to the part that was considered interesting, then I dropped it afterwards. Deep Insanity, that was just another weirdo. I know a lot of people are going to say, like, why did you drop Dungeon Meshi, Delicious in Dungeon? I watched the series and I basically caught up to the series and I'm like, this is fine, but I don't love it. This one, I kind of wish there was a little bit of nudity. I might go back to this one. Is it wrong to pick up girls in dungeon? I don't know. If there's a lot of fan service and there's no nudity, it kind of takes me out of it. Eden Zero did not like the production quality. Same with Eden Zero 2. It's not as good as the manga, just in terms of what these liking. Fire Force, the first episode was the massive turnoff. And I'm like, just the unbelievability. I stopped watching. And there's a kind of a running theme where I hate it that with male characters show their feet. I don't like watching that, and that's one of the reasons why there's a couple that I haven't watched. We'll get to that. Goblin Slayer 2, watched a little bit. I kind of got a little bit bored. I might go back to this. Grenadier Zero, I've seen a bunch of mecha, and this feels very typical. Like, after the episode 3, I'm like, oh, I know it's going to happen in episode 4. I don't need to see this. And then this was also pretty bit meh in terms of mecha. This, I think, is the writer for, I forget what he, I think this is the guy who wrote Konosuba, and I don't like his style of comedy. Infinite Stratos Zero, I forget this. I didn't care for it. And then Shikikomori, I don't like the main character, and the main female character wasn't my favorite. Tale of the Wedding Rings, I tried watching it, and I was like, this is a boring, ecchi series. Gundam 000, I've tried getting this a couple of times. Actually, maybe we do... I tried giving Gundam a couple of times, and I just could not. Gundam Mercury, I watched like 10 or so episodes, and I'm like, I'm bored of this. Dawn Brothers was airing at around the same time, like, this is a better mecha series. And then Communicate, watched a little bit of it. I think I watched, and I was reading a little bit of the manga, and I just wasn't impressed. I seen all the first one of this, Aim Warrior Borderland 2, and I'm like, okay, stereotypical mecha. Mecha's kind of hard one to go. Mechaton Musashi, I was watching this, Miss Mashal. This was an okay series. I'm like, this is fine. I just don't see point to watching it. Megaton Musashi, I tried watching the non-subtitle version, and I just couldn't get in. It didn't stick with me. But then, of course, I played the game. I think it's okay. In terms of the game. Metallic Rouge, I watched a bunch of this. Alright. My Hometown Hero, I just watched one episode, and I was, And I think I also got caught up behind. Platinum Man, I don't remember why, but I think it's written by Death Note. Sagan, just mecha series I tried watching, didn't feel for it. This is Sakura Wars. I watched a bunch of it, and I kind of just did not care for it. And then the older series, this works better as a video game instead of an anime. A little too cheesy. Lose Your Hero. This is the problem with. I'm kind of sick of the dark hero. I'm like, oh, they're bad. Like the take on superheroes, I didn't care for it. Then we have the new one. I just felt like I was watching the latest episode and I was just bored. Stereotypical series of ecchi and didn't care for it. Evangelion, I did not like watching this. Like I watched like 13 episodes and I'm like, I'm done. I'm bored of this force. It's super annoying. Spy X Family, I thought I was boring and didn't care for the comedy. Super Crooks, I watched a whole bunch and I just did not want to watch the end. It's just a little too gory, and I don't know. I wasn't keen on the ending. Singularity Noir, that was just kind of stereotypical mecha. This one, it just, bad. Bad, so bad. Then Season Hero of Rising Shuriken was also just bad. I could not stand it. I watched a little bit of Escaflowne, and I thought it was like, all right, but I'm not too interested. Tesla Note just looked terrible, and the plot and characters were just dumb. I watched a bunch of this, and it took forever to get to the next. Like, it was like 2 episodes before like the big, like they had the one big episode, and then it was like gonna take 3 episodes to get to solve the next part of it. I'm like, that's way too long, and especially considering another one. I watched like 1.5 episodes, and the main girl just annoyed me, just irritating. This was okay. I watched a few. I wasn't super interested. Zom 100, watched a little bit of it. I wasn't super keen with it. I read a little bit of the manga, and I'm like, this is fine. And I think maybe there's also a delay. But let's move on to completing and what I've scored in the 9s, and then what I've done at the lower end. Wait, I want to do stats wise. This is the number of TV. I watched 200. I wanted to do. It goes score type. That's what we need to do. All right, let's go into the big ones that I've actually completed. I will give an honest opinion of. We have Digimon Adventure. I watched this back last year. I got it on Blu-ray, and it still holds up. To me, it's one of the best isekais. Just because of how unique it is. It's a sci-fi. It has a bunch of characters. I think it's a kid's show, but going in comparison to Chronicles of Narnia, because there's a lot of Christian elements to it, I think this delivers on the elements better than Chronicles of Narnia. It's just interwoven a lot better and not so much in your face. Blood Blockade Battlefront is amazing. It took me till the second episode to like fall in love with it, but it is super good. Kind of wish it didn't have a recap episode, but very good. I do want to own this at Blu-ray at some point, and I think the manga is actually continuing, so we might get a season 3. I'd be shocked with that one. Food Wars Season 2. This is this is Season 2. This was absolute perfection. I absolutely loved it. It's a good blend of comedy and like stakes. This is Night is Short, Walk On Girl. It's because I think this is the author did Devilman Crybaby or whatever, and I wanted to check it out. And he also did Ride With Your Wave. I need to watch this again. I watched it dubbed, and I thought it was really good. Thought for what it was excellent. Dr. Stone, Science with Shonen Anime is excellent. SS Dynazenon. Oh, this is amazing. I rewatched this and I want to watch it again. But it's just a basic story of good versus evil, and just like how evil cannot create anything good or meaningful. It just emulates it so well. Dragon Quest Adventure or Die, the series everyone slept on. There's not too many creators. I think I only know Mother's Basement did it, and he's kind of a hack already. But I absolutely loved it. It is not as horny as the manga interpretation and manga version of the manga, and that's kind of sad. Is that I can understand why people don't like it, and then some people do like it. As at that age, it was meant for like it was kind of made for the older audience. There's a little bit of nudity in it, So the age differences, but I think the overall messaging and the characters hold up well. But unfortunately, Viz Media or Square is not doing the rest of the colored versions of it, and that's a shame. We only get 5 here in the U.S., and France is up to volume 10, and there's 24 volumes. Slow Loop. This was airing around the time that Dragon Quest, and a bit of sad but funny story. So there was an episode in Dragon Quest Adventure or Die where the main one of the villains is gonna die in the next episode, and a character from the past returns. And I was hyped for this because I had read the manga and I was super excited. But then the studio gets hacked, and it was a day after my mother died, and it pissed me off. And the funny thing is, Slow Loop, the two main leads, they have characters who died, and so Slow Loop should be more relatable to it. But I'm like, I want to see Dragon Quest. I need that heartfelt moment. This is just comedy. I needed this. So I was a bit pissed. But this is a series I do want to rewatch again, because I was thinking it was going to be sort of like Yuri, and I'm not the biggest fan of lesbian romances. So I was hoping I didn't think it was going to be what it was. It'd be something different, and it turned out to be better than expected. Gridman Universe. I so want this to be in the U.S., but it hasn't, and it's already in Blu-ray in Japan, and I want this to be in the U.S. because this is what got me to buy the other Gridman, on Blu-ray. I liked Gridman Universe, the anime stuff, but then I wanted to get the original stuff, the live action. I wanted to collect everything in terms of the series, in terms of TV shows. So I want to watch this again because I liked it the first time, and I think if I watch the second time, it would be better. This is a short side movie that we get our pirate friend of Dr. Stone. Which one do? Oh, Ryu's Nami or Ryu. Yeah. So that was a fun little part. And then this is I'm clicking the manga for this. The Masterful Cat is Depressed Again. It aired last year. I watched it again a second time for this year. It doesn't hold up too much, but I still like it. And then Trigun. It's been a while since I watched this. I know there's the new version. I might try go back and give that a shot. And the animation's not my favorite. Outlaw Star, loved it. I own it on Blu-ray. This was one of my childhood animes. And then Full Alchemist Brotherhood, I've watched once and haven't. This is season 2 of Cross Wars, but I Cross Wars I need to rewatch again, but I think it might still hold up a little bit. Gundam Origin, wish all Gundams got remastered and looked like this. Normangon, these are the first 2 I got in Blu-ray. I had the complete version. I've watched it twice and maybe 3 times, but I every time I rewatch it, I get hold down. Okay, we're just gonna go through the 9s and then we'll skip ahead to the very end. Your Light in April, need to watch this again, but I still think it's pretty good. A good sad story, but I think if I rewatched it again, I would give it a large score. Now, 7 Deadly Sins. I know it has got a bad rap, and it deserves it. But for the time being, it was fun. I liked the first season, so I do that. Overlord. This was a series I think was recommended to me by Anime America. I watched I watched the dubbed, and I'm like, I think maybe Mother's Basement or a YouTuber got me to watch it. I'm like, oh, I like it, and I own the light novels, and I'm just waiting for the last ones. Fairy Tail Dragon Cry. This is the first anime movie I watched in theaters, and it's full of young kids, but it's still good. The dub is, I think I'm gonna only watch this in sub just because the voices are a little bit annoying. I love Gundam Thunderbolt. I do need to read the manga and see if it really does drag on. I do have this digitally. Violet Evergarden, not too bad. Need to watch it again. And then of course season 2. I wish this would continue because the Gundam products, in my opinion, that have been releasing are not as good. Pluto, this was an unexpected surprise, but I do like it. It's a reimagining of the old school Astro Boy, or like a prequel to it. I think I was trying to watch the 2003 version, and it just kind of turned me off a little bit. And then Gridman, rewatched this the second time, still holds up, much better. Okay, I have the manga for this. The funny thing about the manga is they make no mention of sex, which I would think for a relationship would be important, but they don't do it. I find it very odd. And then it's like at the very end, like, oh, like the end of the manga, two of the characters are pregnant. I'm like, oh, we've never discussed sex, so why? Okay. It's still fun. I haven't rewatched it again, but I think the manga version's not as good. And then more Violet Evergarden. Kill on Tuesday, I watched this and thought it was so fine. Dorihiro. Probably should watch this again, but yeah, I liked it. I watched it at the time. A lot of these I just watched this first and then I don't remember. Overlord 2, third season. What was the third? Oh, okay, that's the. Oh, I know which arc that is. I did not watch Overlord season 4 because I did not. The movie is based off of books, I think 12 and 13, and I don't remember liking those books very well. I when I read 13, I was like, eh. I wanted it was based off 14. I wanted the movie based on that. So I didn't watch Overlord 4 and season 4, and because it was super relevant to me, like I like the end part, so I just read the book. And then the movie, I might have to give Violet Evergarden a rewatch. Demon Slayer. Oh god, this series fell off so hard after season 1. What makes Demon Slayer super good is the comedy, and afterwards it fell off. After season 3, I just stopped watching and thought, this is boring. We'll get more into this later. No Gunslave season 2. I thought the first season was okay, and then season 2 just brought it back with a bang. And I think there's enough for a third season. I wish they would continue it, because I have the manga. Complete manga. Stone Wars, I think this is a short, this is a short one. It still holds up. Vivi Fluorescent Eyes, I probably want to own this on Blu-ray at some point. Pretty good. Taxi, I just watched it because it was popular. Blue Period, why is there not season 2? I don't want to pick up the manga. I like it, but I think I don't want to pick up the manga. And then, of course, The Duke of Death. I've seen this. I did enjoy the series, and I eventually got the manga. I got the manga around the time my cousin Todd passed away, and I feel bad for collecting manga, because my cousin Matthew, he said, you want to buy me books? And I'm like, oh, there's about 4 books of the manga, and I'm like, can you get me these? I don't know, I just felt bad about getting them, and I mean, my cousin Matthew, he called me at the time that my mother passed away, and he was one of the reasons I was able to lift myself up. I mean, I wasn't completely depressed, but him talking to me and texting me was much appreciated. Bocchi the Rock. All right, we'll move on to more happier stories. Bocchi the Rock. The reason I partially got into it is because of a YouTuber, but then I was on my Rule 34 website, and I see Rule 34, the main character. I'm like, why is there so much Rule 34? And there's no ecchi in it, like except for like one part scene. I'm like, but I enjoyed it. I liked the Bocchi the Rock. I even got the soundtrack for it. Oshinoko season 1. We go over it. Frieren. I was watching the series in the background, and then I was like, I need to watch this. I watched like the first couple in the back, and I'm like, I can't watch it that way. I have to watch it in front of me. I just can't have it off to the side. I ended up really enjoying this. This is not a 10 for me, but I do like it. Death Play. At the first time I watched it, I just like, no, I'm not gonna like this. And I rewatched it and binged it, and part 2 doesn't hold up. Kind of a shame. This series is getting a season 2. Ron Kamashini's or Forbidden Inductions. This is a cop story. The twist at the end, I thought it was okay. I was a little bit peeved, but I ended up enjoying this. Maybe if I rushed it, I would give it a lower score. This one I heard about, and I watched it to the end. This was funny. I'm sorry, but the main character, this dude is Rentaro is a beta. I'm sorry. He's got all these waifus and everything, but he's way too into their emotions. I'm sorry. He needs to say less, and say less is more. But I did enjoy this. They had a good dub. I like the dub for this one. And then this is all right. Gushing Over Magical Girls. I had never heard about this series in the manga, and so I saw my analysis. I'm like, oh, this is coming. And the reason I watched it, I think, was a little bit of chibi reviews, and also the. 'Cause I saw on the. 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 I saw on the the third-party website, they showed an uncensored version. I'm like, okay, I'll check this out, see what it's like, and I was very pleasantly surprised with the nudity. Like, it wasn't even the nipple stuff. It was the butt whipping that got me into this. I'm like, you have my attention. I do not care if this is Yuri. I'm going to watch this. I have to see where this is going. And in the very end, they nailed it by saying the C word. This girl, Kuroko, calls Kiwi the C word. And I'm like, oh my god! And they even censored it. I just busted up laughing. And then everyone's sacred. No, we're in the. Actually, we'll talk about Sacred Shout, Cowboy Bebop, and also this. I will even talk about Full Metal Panic for a sec. But Cowboy Bebop. I could go over every anime. I'll go down the list and see what I think is. All right, Cowboy Bebop. Everyone's like one of the sacred cows. I watched this for the first time on Blu-ray. Like it, but I don't like the characters. I don't relate to people who drink, smoke, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, this is semi-relatable to me, but I'm not really. I mean, it's fine series. I rate it high. If this guy was not a pedophile, the author, I would be watching the new series. It's hard to separate from the art considering the evilness. He bought child pornography, and I just could not support that. Full Metal Panic. I watched this, and I could not get into the comedy except for Fumofu. But then I got the light novels. I've talked about another book, but I got the light novels by it was on my wish list, but I didn't expect to get it, and I read it, and it just clicked with me. The comedy aspect is in the side chapters, and it works so much better. Gundam 00. This is like one of the first Gundams I'd watched in a long time, and one of the longer ones. I watched sub, but I didn't watch it. I didn't listen to the news. I just listened to my music, and it held up. Digimon Savers, one of those series that I had watched the first 3 episodes, then I did not like it, and I went back to it, and I liked it. Season 2 is also kind of the same. Or I watched it as a kid, but then I went back to it. This is Digimon Adventure. I think War Games should be higher, I think. I might have to redo that. Right back on this on Blu-ray. Still holds up pretty good. I love Gundam Unicorn. The dub. I will say the dub. I like. I have a Gundam Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. I like Binoshers Link's English dub. I don't like the deep voice. I like the more kid voice. I think Gundam Unicorn still holds up. That's a weird sequel. Durarara. First light novel series. I mean, I heard about light novels through Joy the Anime Man, and then I decided I'll pick up light novels, and I end up doing it with Durarara. Crosswords need to. This is not my favorite Digimon season. That's going to be replaced. Lost interest in High School DxD, but good series. Food Wars, liked it except for the final season. Dimension W. I wish there was a sequel to this. They just need like one more anime season. Your Name. The first this guy's movies. Hold on. Where is the? Well, people know his name. I watched this online, and then I immediately got on Blu-ray. And then this is season 2. Not hold up as good. Oh, okay. Overlord season 2 has the weird lizard thing, and it threw me off for a bit at first. Oh, okay. Here comes Hikimaru. Miss Ikimaru. Here comes Miss Modern Part 2. I watched these on Amazon, and I was pleasant. I like these two. I wish when I watched Part 2, I remember didn't have the dub, and I actually like the dub. I may have to go back to this and rewatch this. This is getting a sequel. I recently watched Batman Ninja, good series. Someone of a Spider. I like the first season. Hopefully, it gets to season 2. Good overpowered series. I'm thinking this is gonna get a season 2. Twilight Bound Hanako. I was considering getting the manga because there's a part of me who wants to understand why this is super popular. Not to say this is not a bad series or anything, but get more into popularity. I think I watched a little short story. It's fine. But yeah, I think this is getting a season 2. This is okay. Redo of Healer blew its load on the first season. It doesn't. I don't think it need. It. I don't think. From what I've heard, the season 1 is just like the special thing, and then it gets then over with. It blew its load way too quickly. I think this is finished. I watched this like kind of like. Let me try to think. I just watched this kind of like out of nowhere, and this is really dark, and I'm hoping it gets to season 2. I don't know if it will. The manga, it's uncensored in the manga, which is kind of a shame that this isn't uncensored, because this is a brutal series. What else? So I know Sea Dog VA does dubbing, and I thought this was the anime that did it, and it wasn't. But I ended up still enjoying it. I liked season 2 as well. Quintessential Quintuplets. This is the better version, of course, is the Med Cafe one. Season 2 and 3 did not hold as well. MF Ghost is a sequel to I forget what it is. God, what? Top of my tongue. MF Ghost is getting okay. Is a sequel to Initial D. Never saw Initial D, but I do enjoyed MF Ghost. I might have to go back and watch Initial D. Solo Leveling, I thought it was okay. Don't think it's super great. Shangri-La Frontier. Super excited this is getting to season 2. When I read the premise, I was turned off by it, and then I'm like, I like this more than I was expecting. This is dark. I think this is actually a better. Heavenly Delusion is good series, a bit weird, sciencey. Hopefully, it gets to season 2. This one you need to rewatch twice. This is a remaster of Bartender Glass of God. I like the blonde girl. Miwa, her redo art is really good. And then this is, I watched this in the background and Apothecary Diaries, and then I ended up, like, I think when I got and I was watching it dubbed, I liked the dub. That's when I like paid attention to it. It's good. Deadmau5 Downplay. Man, I wish the part 2 was better. Of course, we have our Emerson Shadow. The Notorious Talker. That is going to be a slight variation of this anime. It's not an isekai, but it is very similar, and it's also a reminiscent of Code Geass. I read the manga. I'm looking forward to that season. I think it's going to be good. Is there anything? Big O, Another Childhood. I got this one by complete randomness, Ninja Scroll, and I thought it was not too bad. I think we need to go down to the bottom. Yeah, it's time we go down to the very bottom and talk about some other stuff. Vinland Saga. If the main character, who's his face? Thorfinn, if he wasn't super annoying in the first part, I would like this better. I might enjoy the manga more. I think Vinland Saga season 2. I wish there was 0.5s for this. It would rank about like a 7.5. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was super great. Collecting the manga for my Bunny Girl Senpai. So Rascal Does Not Dream Of is the titular, I guess, title. It's everything afterwards. I feel like this should have gotten a different name, like Rascal Does Not Dream Of, or it should have gotten a different name. Because Bunny Girl Senpai is the first volume, and it should have just been called Rascal Does Not Dream Of. That's the kind of series of it. This is my first. This is gonna piss people off so badly, but this is my first Miyazaki movie, and I didn't think it was that good. I mean, I thought it was all right. Code Geass. This is the movie I was talking about. I need to watch this. This might actually get up. I might rank this one a little bit higher. Try is a mess, but I gotta rewatch it. I own this on Blu-ray. Weathering with You. It's not bad, but Arifureta, good cheesy fun, and that's in season 3. I own this on Blu-ray. Well, this is Goddess Dorm. Oh, I want this to be season 2. This is good ecchi, and it's actually the season. The anime version is better than the manga. Godzilla SP, need to rewatch it, but Godzilla's entrance was a bit weird. All right. This Rusty or Bisco is like. I've heard that Bisco falls in love with Pao Wu, and they have a kid, and it's the gay energy. Like these, Bisco and Mio are like, holy crap! Like, get a room or go in the mountains. Like they love each other. Although my favorite character is Toro. I love her. She's another flat waifu that's very good. Sacred Cow, Dress Up Darling. I thought it was okay. This was better than expected. Like this as well. Reincarnated Sword. Manga for this is better, and season 2 is gonna be way better. I'm just gonna tell you that much. All right. Yu-Gi-Oh! This actually did not get me in the card game. Collecting cards as Pokemon, but all right, let's move on to the very end. This surprisingly clinched at the very end, despite being so bad. Sakura is, I hate her as a character, and the stuff in this anime contradict the anime, the video game. This was better than expected, although I wouldn't probably watch a season 2. People like this Hell's Paradise. I think Heavenly Delusions are better if you're kind of a similar, not similar shtick, but like a similar name like Hell and Heaven. I thought it was fine. The ending was a bit weird. I'm curious to how this is going to hold up in terms of story, even though I know it's like 13. It's 13 volumes in terms of the manga. I'm curious to how it's going to hold, like how the rest of the story was. And then I kind of hope they change the ending, because the endings, I don't know. I don't hate Yuri stuff, but I don't like necessarily like Yuri's in general. I don't know. If there's a possible straight romance, I prefer that to be instead. Let's see. Jujutsu Kaisen, I watched the first season. I was watching a little bit too, but I didn't like what was coming next. I might go back to it. Although I heard it's kind of a bit messy. Tactics series. People got pissed that Anna and the were like a couple at the end of this, and I liked it because I thought Anna was hot, and like that was my waifu. He was not going to fall in love with Shion Destiny, his ex lover. This is a mobile game that's getting a sequel that never got a sequel. I never played the mobile game. If mobile games are on PC or console, I'll give them a shot, but that's debatable. Hold on. The one that everybody seems to really like, the Genshin Impact. I played that for 2 days and I was bored of it. There is another mobile game that I'm probably going to do for the channel, actually. Own this on Blu-ray. I need to rewatch it. People, I know Anime America said like this is the worst anime from the last season. This is going to depend on the season 2, whether or not it lives or dies. I will. If it gets to season 2, I will give it. And if it nails it better, I will say this isn't bad and worth watching. But this might get lower. I might change my mind. People praise this, and I thought it needed to be longer. Black Lagoon, everybody likes the main girl, and I'm like, no, you've not met Valmet. Valmet puts Revi in a chokehold and passes her and kills her instantly. Revi is trash. There is nothing likable about her. 5 meters per second. 5 centimeters per second. I did not understand this movie. I had to watch interpretation of it. All right, we're gonna get down to the let's get down to the big bottom. Oh, Kira is boring in the first time. Tribe 9. This is getting a mobile game, and I saw the trailer this morning. I did not like the anime, but the mobile game is got me interested, and it's on. I can get this on Steam, so you're gonna see me play through this. Kira, I watched it through the end, but it is boring. These I need to rewatch, but I remember the dub being very annoying and irritating. This is where Demon Slayer fell off for me, was season 2. That was just way too much action and boring. Here's the Case of Vanitas. This was just another case of study of Vanitas. This was also boring. And also gay, not necessarily game romance, but I just did not care for it. And I need to rewatch it, but it's still a dumpster fire. Alright, so now we're at the bottom. So, Danganronpa 3, and I don't like that also well. Gundam NT, bad. Great Pretender started off strong and then it just ended miserably. This was a Crunchyroll exclusive fan of the Pirate Princess, and it fell flat. I'm surprised I stuck to the end. Cat Planet, Cuties. I briefly remember it's just a lot of ecchi. Bikini War is a lot of ecchi, but Yuri Bait. And then Konosuba, don't care for the comedy. I think I missed one episode of, and I have no interest in watching. I do not like the characters. If I don't like the characters, it's gonna be a bit rough. Same way with Mushoku Tensei. I did not like the characters, but I do find the story intriguing. I might go back and rewatch that series. I probably should do it and give it a better chance. But there's not a character that I like in that series. So if I like a character, then it makes it better. Now, where are some of the big ones? Bleach. I watched an episode. Thought it was okay. There's One Piece. At the time that One Piece was airing was when Pirates of the Caribbean were coming out. And Monkey D. Luffy being extremely annoying in the English dub, looking stupid, and also male feet, I could not get into the series. It just immediately turned me off. And still to this day, I don't have an interest in reading or watching it. Naruto is the same way. I watched a whole bunch as middle school, and I just could not get into it. I remember someone in high school, a friend of mine in high school, said you should watch Shippuden. I watched the first episode, and I was like, I'm lost. I don't want to begin with that. There's also what's the other one? One with it's one with the late Thun Gun. What is it? I watched it as a kid. I need to rewatch it again. Hold on, give me a sec. It is Yu Yu Hakusho. I watched a whole bunch as a kid, but I haven't watched the completion. That's a series I should also go back and watch at some time. But yeah, so I thought this for 100 episodes, 100 subscribers, I would do a little bit of anime special. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Manga, I'm not going to do, but not show that. I guess we can go to Plan to Watch. We'll end it with there. Arifureta Season 3. And then we have the Kamashiya Rohan. I'm surprised this got a Season 2. This is an adult romance, under 65 to wedding. This is an adult romance, so I thought, it's worth checking out. Then this was supposed to be for this year, but then gets delayed. I might have to read the manga and see if no, it's a novel, so never mind. No, manga I can read. Novels I need to sit down and read personally, but maybe I'll read the manga. I think there's a manga. Notorious Talker. This one you should be on the lookout for. Noel Stolen is great. To sell it more about this guy, he's like Lelouch, but he doesn't need the Code Geass to influence people. And I was reading the manga, he's a very good smooth talker. He convinces people to go along with him, and I think that's part of his charm. And he's also worked out, and he's really super. He's also he's not super strong, but he's strong enough that he can make himself a threat to his enemies. And his ability, and it's a fantasy series, he's basically like the minstrel cycle. So, or like a minstrel, he gives it powers that boost things. But because of that, he's considered he's best role as a leader. The first episode, I know people are going to be irritated with him because of what he does, but it makes sense. And then it's even like I mentioned in my Soul Silver playthrough, it's even controversial in the manga itself. But yeah, I love Noelle Stone. I can't wait for Alma, what she's going to be like. Just seeing what she looks like, because she's going to be pretty cool. And then we have Shangri-La Frontier, which I enjoyed the first season, and I'm looking forward to the next one. So that's going to do it for today, for the special. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If there's any anime you want questions on, like maybe you've seen my completion, and like maybe expand on it more, or something maybe I'll do in the comments. Well, I guess I could also talk about 86. I watched that, and I dropped it, and I watched it again, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, alright. We're ending it right now. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and a good Saturday. And see you guys next time, next week with more Pokemon Soul Silver.